Yeah, it's here.
Awesome. Okay, so we're also recording this because, as I stated before, after the broadcast is over with, we're going to end the broadcast in the group, but you guys can stay in the Zoom so you can ask questions and we can take an even deeper dive into this stuff if you want to. All right, and then also those of you who are already enrolled in the free preview of the Be Magic Hypnosis method, you'll be able to go back and watch this again because it'll be in the classroom portal. All right. So even if anybody misses it or whatever, you'll be able to go back. All right. So let's jump into this. The universe is soul. So this is basically a masterclass on what the soul is and the 5 principles. There's actually 18 principles altogether, okay? But tonight we're gonna focus on 5 of them, all right? Now the other principles are in the full Be Magic Hypnosis method course that's further along down the line. It's not in the free preview. Okay, so if that's something that you're interested in learning more about, then you guys know that when you sign up for the full course, you'll be able to access that, okay? So tonight we're gonna be going over 3 core things in this masterclass. The first thing we're gonna be talking about is what the soul is, all right? The second thing is the 5 principles of the subconscious mind. And the third thing is the one way that you can effectively heal yourself and manifest, okay? And I think most of us in here kind of know what that is already, but we're going to dip into that either way, all right? So as a practitioner of, healing the subconscious mind, you guys know that that's the realm that I choose to focus on when it comes to healing and manifestation. Some of the things that I would say the soul is, and in my research, what I have found, and later on when we ask questions and things like that, we can go into a deeper conversation about what it is that you all have learned over time, what the soul means to you, right? Because what you're gonna find is that there's theories all over the place. Nobody really knows 100% what the soul is. It's kind of like we're all trying to figure it out, right? But in essence, I would say that it is the material aspect, the immaterial aspect of the human being, okay? I would also say that the soul defines our individuality and our humanity, all right? We as human beings, we can do a lot of things that other creatures cannot, all right? It doesn't mean that they don't also have a soul. It just means that the human soul kind of differentiates us from the rest of creation. It is also synonymous with consciousness, okay? The mind and the self. And it's also the part of us that connects us to or is part of the divine source, God, goddess, whatever you want to call it. And it can exist outside of the body after physical death, all right? So when we look at the Pythagorean theory, which is his theory, Pythagoras' theory was that there were 3 parts of the soul, okay? And that was intelligence, reason, and passion. Hold on, I'm letting people in as we're going, so you guys gotta bear with me. All righty. So again, Pythagoras's theory was that there was 3 parts of the soul. Okay, that's intelligence, reason, passion. Now, all of the theories kind of melt into one greater understanding, and I have listed several, okay? There's also some resources at the end of this. So if you guys want to go back and do your own research, I highly recommend that. All right. These are just my ideas and theories based on research, based on time being in this field, and what I deal with on a daily basis, okay? But I encourage everybody to do their own research, as always. Okay, so Pythagoras had described the soul as consisting of three parts: intelligence, reason, and passion. He said that the seat of the soul extended from the heart to the brain, okay? Passion being located in the heart, and the reason and intelligence in the brain, all right? And I tend to wholeheartedly agree with that, okay? So in Kabbalah, which is one of my favorite systems of magic, okay, or magical systems, as you could, however you want to say it. In Kabbalah, there are 5 sheaths of the soul. So Yashida is, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing these things the right way, so, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so Yashida is the bliss state, or Anandamaya aspect of oneness with ourselves, okay? Then Shaya, or Vijnanyamaya, is the wisdom mind. So this is the part of the mind that becomes aware of duality and our separation from oneness, okay? Neshyamaya, or Nishama, okay? The connection to the divine, the mental body. This is the story mind. This is the part of the mind that creates thoughts and stories. Okay, any of this is all sounding a little familiar, right? Ruhash is the emotional energy. So this is the part of us that can grow attachments to ideas and belief systems that can cause negative reactions in the body and the physical world. And then we have Nefesh, can also be spelled Nephesh, all right? But Nefesh is the physical body aspect of the soul in the material dimension, okay? That's us all sitting here tonight, all right? And you will see how this all ties in together in a minute, okay? There's a method to my madness. All right. So in Christianity and Hinduism, that's an idea of how the soul was conceived, okay? And so in Christianity, in early Christianity, philosophers theorized that the soul, as being created by God and then infused into the body at conception. In Hinduism, the Atman, or breath, or the soul, is universal. All right, it's the universal eternal self of which each individual soul partakes. Okay, so here is kind of like a visual layout of what that looks like. So source breathes life into the body, okay, creating the eternal self and the individual bodies. Okay, so that is the Christian and Hinduism theory about the soul and the conception of the soul. Then in mysticism, it talks about how the soul communicates with us, okay? So the soul communicates through symbols, and I'm smiling because some of y'all know why I'm smiling already. But the soul, it communicates through symbols, metaphors, archetypes, poetic language, deep emotions, and magic. What is this starting to sound like, y'all? You know what I'm saying? So after doing research about all of this, in my mind, the soul is the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is the universe, okay? And the reason why I say this is because the universe, the first Hermetic principle is that the universe is mental, all is mind, okay? Or all is mind and the universe is mental, all right? Everything begins with a thought. To me, the soul represents this, is the subconscious mind, because when we go back up here, right, and we'll go a little bit deeper into this when we start talking about the 5 principles of the subconscious mind, it communicates with symbols, metaphors, archetypes, poetic language, deep emotions, and magic, right? Don't we need all of those things when we're dealing with the subconscious mind, when we're doing magic, right? Okay. So some of you who are in the free preview, you've probably seen this diagram already. And excuse me, I'm still getting over a little sinus infection thing. So if y'all hear me, clear my throat, that's what's going on. So basically, what we have here is the diagram of the theory of mind, okay? This is my personal take on the theory of mind. Of course, there are so many other theories out there of how the mind works, right? Because the mind is not tangible. We can't cut it open and look at it. We can cut open the brain and look at it, but we can't cut open the mind and look at it, right? It is an essence, a presence, an energy. So nobody really knows 100% how it looks and how it's laid out, okay? But through research and time, we're able to kind of get an idea of what it might look like or seem like, okay? So here we have a diagram of the mind, okay? This would be what our idea of the mind is. So here we have, and I'm just going to breeze through this because some of you have heard me talk about this already, or you've already seen it already in the free preview. But when we're born with the primitive mind. That's the survival mind, the baby brain. In the primitive mind, it is the flight, fight, freeze response, okay? Then as we grow older, like from the ages of 0 to about 8 years old, we start to form our subconscious mind. This is our knowns and our unknowns, okay? This is the pleasure and pain centers, okay? I call this the CEO, all right? This is what I know I like. This is what I know I don't like. And most of these little closed envelopes over here, this is the unknown. So a lot of times when we are trying to make changes in our lives or trying to do something different, it's really difficult for us to do it, no matter how much we have a burning desire to do it, right? If the subconscious mind isn't convinced that we should do it and it's a good idea, then 9 times out of 10, resistance is going to show up. There's going to be blockages. There's going to be something that we create either in the internal world and in the physical world, right? That keeps us from succeeding at our goal, okay? So then from the ages of 9 to 14, we start to form the critical filter. This is what I call this the secretary. And the reason why I call it the secretary is because the critical filter is the part of the mind that protects all of those programs and paradigms, belief systems that live in the subconscious mind. It's not about to let some new ideas and some new things enter into the part of the mind that holds the program, right? And now remember, the subconscious mind is also the emotional mind, okay? It holds all the memories, it holds all the emotions. Remember that, because we're going to dip back into that in a minute, all right? So here at the top, we have the conscious mind. It's also called the wise counsel, all right? So in the conscious mind is where our logic, our reasoning, remember Pythagoras' theory about intelligence and reason and passion, okay? So passion would live down here in the emotions, all right? But reason and intelligence can be, it could be emotional intelligence. It's usually what we develop after we've done some healing and we've had good models of emotional intelligence, which most of us in our age range, we didn't have that growing up, right? Right. So intelligence can live in both the mental and emotional realm. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But here in the conscious mind, we have logic, reason, willpower, decision-making, and analytical skills, okay? If everybody could please put yourselves on mute. Thank you very much. So this is the part of the mind that says, oh yes, it's a good idea for us to start eating healthier. It's a good idea for us to start a business, right? It's a good idea for us to move to across the country, all right? Or the opportunities would be really good if we moved across the country or moved out of the country or out of the country. Okay, that sounds great. However, when we try to offer that up to the subconscious mind is like, child, we ain't never lived out the country. What are you talking about? We ain't never, left this job. We've been here for 20 years. What are you talking about? We ain't going nowhere. We don't know what's going to happen. That's the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen if we do that. Are we going to be successful? Are we going to fail? Are we going to die? Because underneath all fears is the fear of death, okay? Something will have to die in order for you to have a new beginning. So that unknown scares us, and it's death, because I got to leave my old life to step over here into a new life, okay? So the way we crack through that resistance is using our message units, right? The message units is what helps to break down that secretary. Okay, we kind of put the secretary to sleep, or we give her $200 and tell her to go have lunch at Neiman's, okay, and shop, while we create a pathway through into the subconscious mind to start putting in new suggestions, okay? That's the only way you're going to make changes, is if you make an impression on the subconscious mind. If you break down the emotional attachments to past events, okay? If you clear out the resistance, the fear, the ruminating thoughts, the negative self-talk, okay, you gotta do that. Now, some people who don't use the deep trance state way, which is hypnosis, to quickly get through that resistance, it takes a little bit longer. You can do it, and it does happen. It just takes a little bit longer, because now you are doing affirmations, you're doing mantras, you're, changing your behaviors and things like that. And you may fall off for a while and then have to start back over again, okay? So hypnosis is a way, it's like it's a cheat code. You can just crack the code really quickly, okay? And the way we enter into the hypnotic state is through message units, all right? That is using the environment, the body, the conscious mind, and the subconscious mind, all right? So to me, when we go back and we look at right here, okay. So when we go back and we look at the 5 sheaths of the soul, right? This talks about how, and I'm going to start from the bottom up, okay? Because that's basically what we have to do in order to break through resistance, in order to answer the full calling of the soul, we've got to start from the physical body, right? Which is going to tell us that it's a problem. Okay. Money isn't circulating, or money is drying up. I can't accomplish the goals that I've set for myself. I keep having relationship issues. That is the presentation of the physical world, right? So then we got to tap into the emotional energy. Okay. That emotional energy is what's bringing up the resistance, is what's bringing up the opposition. So we got to work in the emotional mind, which is the subconscious. That's where all change is going to happen. I don't care what anybody says, you ain't changing nothing until you change your emotional mind. Got to go there, got to. There's many ways to do it, okay? I have always chosen hypnosis because it's fast, it's permanent, you know. To me, it's just been the thing, okay? And what you'll find as future hypnotist, that all your clients are going to come to you after they've tried everything else. That's what you're going to find. Every client, hands down, all the time, I've tried everything. Somebody told me to call you. I'm just going to try because they said it worked for them, so I'm going to just do it. Okay? Because they've tried everything else. But they didn't enter the realm of the subconscious, okay? Which I refer to as the universe and the soul. That's why the name of this masterclass is the YOUniverse is soul, all right? Once we tap into the subconscious mind, and the conscious mind and the subconscious mind are now talking to each other, guess what? We have now entered the realm of the divine, okay? That's the part of us that creates a new way of doing things, okay? So for a minute, I'm gonna go back to this slide, okay? Once we get the ideas down into the subconscious mind, and these two are like the daddy and the mama are making hot, sweaty, passionate love, because that's what is happening right there, right? That's the alchemical marriage, okay? Once the conscious, the fire, the father, Ra, enters through the chamber and into the chamber of the mother, the subconscious mind, Isis, right? Guess what happens when they come together? The superconscious, God mind, is accessed, okay? Once we bypass this critical mind right here, the God mind is accessed. Now, what is the God mind when we go back up here? It is the connection to the divine. Mental body is the story mind. So now we're in the realm of creation, okay? We're in the learning state now. We're in the state of learning something new. Now I can create a whole new idea for myself. And once the subconscious mind believes that it is real, because we've created a story, we've created a whole new narrative, and we keep doing it over and over and over again, over and over and over again. All of a sudden, I believe that it's already done, okay? We break through the duality, the separation, right? We're no longer separated. The conscious and the subconscious are no longer separated. They are now one cohesive unit. So we've broken through Shara, the wisdom mind that says, well, you know, I'm separate from source. Okay, I'm separate from that idea. I'm separate from being a billionaire. I'm separate from being happy. I'm separate from being healed. Okay, we've broken through the separation. Now we are operating as a cohesive unit. We are at one. At one-ment, atonement, oneness with the self. We're at the bliss state, Yashida. We're at the bliss state, okay? You feel blissful, you feel euphoric when you enter into the hypnosis realm, the hypnotic state, okay? The trance state. Because there are no problems, because now we've broken into the God mind. We are operating in the superconscious now. There are no problems. The idea that I don't have enough or I am not enough that's not real. That doesn't exist there anymore. So now you get a chance to create what you want to see. Okay? All right. So let's go into the 5 principles of the subconscious mind. And I'm going to take a quick little look over here in Facebook to see if there's any comments, things like that. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're good to go. I was just making sure there was no questions over here. Okay. So when we look at the 5 principles of the subconscious mind, okay, so number 1, and these are not in any particular order, by the way. Like I said, there's 18 of these collectively. And I'm only highlighting 5 today. All right. So the subconscious mind communicates with and responds to symbols, images, and numbers, okay? Let's go back up here to this one when we talked about the soul communication and mysticism. They're talking about how the soul communicates. This is telling you that the subconscious mind communicates and responds to symbols, images, and numbers, okay? It responds to flowery poetic language, for those of you who have tested as an emotional suggestible, okay? You respond to more flowery poetic language. You like to put it together in your head. You don't want to be told what it is. You want to allow for your imagination to put it together for you, okay? This is what we call imagery. All right. Second principle, the subconscious mind stores and organizes memories and emotions. It processes the happenings attached to the memories and the emotions, okay? What does that mean? Everything from every lifetime, from every timeline is stored in the subconscious mind, okay? This is why you can have past life experiences. The subconscious mind is vast, it's deep. It transfers. It exists even after death. Okay. Same way up here. The soul can exist outside the body after physical death. All right. The soul is also synonymous with consciousness, the mind and the self. Okay. So this is also the reason why we experience those hard times, okay? When we are experiencing the inner conflict, the fear, the desire versus fear conflict, the loop that we sometimes find ourselves in all the time, okay? Especially when we're trying something new. The reason for that is because your subconscious mind houses all of the memories from every situation you've been in. It remembers. And when we begin to delve into new territory, okay? Or do something that we've never done before. All of the reasons why we shouldn't do it comes up because part of its job is to keep you protected. Okay, remember the primitive mind lives in the subconscious mind. That's the survival mind. It lives at the base of the subconscious. So it's like, well, wait a minute, hold up now. Like, you about to invest $30,000 in this. You don't know if you're gonna get that back, okay? Hold up now. You about to give them another chance. Remember what they did last time, okay? But it could be the best relationship you ever had. All right, because it stores everything and it's processing these things and it's going through this process. So that process of that back and forth, the desire versus fear loop, okay? That's what keeps us in conflict. And the best way to move past that conflict is to be still and to tap into the soul. Tap into that God consciousness, that super consciousness, to get the real answer, to get the real clarity, okay? And also to receive assistance in clearing out some of those old memories and emotions that are not serving. They were there to protect you. Okay, thank you very much for protecting me. But you know what? It's time to move on. It's time to move forward. It's time to do this thing that we've been so afraid to do, right? And the only way we can really do that is if we clear out those stored memories and emotions, okay? Disconnect from the happening, okay? I'm going to answer questions at the end, okay, y'all? For those of you in the Zoom, all right? I'm going to hold your questions. I'm going to go back and answer the questions when we, okay? So, I didn't mean to switch it yet, okay? So that is what we got to do in order to be able to move through that conflict. Can everybody put yourselves on mute, please?
Yeah, it's right there.
Thank you. Okay. So we've got to clear out that old stuff in order to be able to move into the unknown, right? Move into the red file cabinet. Okay. All right. Number 3, the subconscious mind functions best as an integrated unit, right? We talked about oneness, okay? Again, that's the daddy and the mama coming together, creating new life, new light. That's when it functions best. That is when we're in the flow. That's when you're in the flow and you're no longer going over bumpy things, okay? You're just kind of in the flow. And even if you do hit a little bit of a bump, it's like, okay, I know how to navigate through that. You become like water, okay? You're just flowing now. All right. So that is the goal. The goal is for us to get to reach atonement at oneness, that cohesive unit. Now, the 4th principle is that the subconscious mind represses memories with unsolved emotions, and it does this for a reason. It does this to help us maintain equilibrium and homeostasis, okay? Excuse me. So it does repress memories, and what will happen for those of you who decide to move forward and become certified professional hypnotists, you're going to get calls from people that say, you know what, I can't remember something from when I was like a kid, and I think that that's holding me back. I think it's blocking me from doing something, okay? It's keeping me from moving forward. So what I tell them is, your mind is working on your behalf to protect you, okay? And it's a good idea to let those memories stay right where they are, okay? Because there's unresolved emotions around that memory, which means if we go digging it up, we're gonna go digging up some really strong emotions that could totally knock you down. And because we are not licensed therapists, we're not licensed psychologists or psychotherapists, right? We are not, it is out of our scope of work to do this type of work, okay? To do regressions, age regression and things like that and go digging up memories. Because it can really, it could throw somebody into a psychotic fit. Could put them in psychosis. We don't want to do that. We're here to assist them with not just feeling better, not just feeling, you know, love and light. No. What we're doing is way deeper than that, okay? What we're doing is helping them detach from the idea that they're blocked, okay? And focus on the goal and get them over that hump, that fear of the unknown, into the goal. That's what we're here to do, okay? So the subconscious mind is highly intelligent, very, very intelligent. Yes, it's emotional. No, it is not a thinking mind in the sense that the conscious mind is a thinking mind, right? No, but it knows exactly what we need in order to survive, in order to navigate through this lifetime. Remember, it is an ancient, ancient being. It is very old. So I attribute it to the subconscious mind knows, the soul knows, right? The soul knows. It knows when it's time. It knows. So that brings me to the next slide, where the subconscious mind presents repressed memories for resolution, okay? So when it is time for that memory to come up, because the soul, the subconscious knows that we're about to move into a different area of life, or we're about to start something new, that's when it will allow for that particular memory, that particular emotion to surface. And you'd be like, why is this coming up now? I thought I healed that, okay? Why is this happening right now? Why would this happen to me now? Because it's time. It may not be convenient. It usually happens at the worst possible time, right? I was watching this movie the other night. Oh man, what was the name of it? I'm terrible at remembering mundane things. The movie was Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis was in it. Oh, The Luckiest Girl in the World on Netflix. And so she had gone through some really deep trauma when she was a young girl, right, in high school. And she suppressed it because the people in her life, especially her mama, was not supportive of her intelligently and healthfully processing her emotions and processing the trauma the way she needed to, okay? And so she grew up and became successful. And then she met this guy, perfect man, perfect guy, somebody that everybody wanted, right? Rich, handsome, loving, kind, generous. She was making like $80,000 a year. He didn't care. You know, he loved her stanky draws. So they were 6 weeks out from getting married, right? All of a sudden, here come these nightmares, here come these dreams. And this person was, this other guy was making a documentary about the event that happened at her high school, right? But the part of her trauma was not known, okay? Her trauma, dealing in that instance, they had like a school shooting, but she had gotten sexually assaulted, okay, before the school shooting. Nobody knew about it. She told a few people, and the few people she told turned their backs on her, okay? So this journalist was making a documentary about it. And all of a sudden, all these things started coming to the surface for her. So long story short, she decided not to do the documentary, but decided to write about what happened to her. And she wasn't a journalist. So she decided to post her story in the New York Times, right? And it just it turned her whole life upside down. Her fiance was like, why would you do this right now? We're about to get married, like literally the day before the wedding, right? They're having their rehearsal dinner, okay? She is like, oh, this story is coming out tomorrow. He was like, why would you do this now? Okay. So she decided not to marry him. So what I'm saying is these things will come to surface at the most inopportune times and for our human minds, right? However, it was the perfect time for her to step out on her own and cross over that threshold and overcome her fear of telling her story and it propelled her into massive success. She was on all these different talk shows and everything. She outed her mama, who threatened her, like, I don't care if you tell your story, just don't put me in it. She outed her mama. She outed everybody who turned their backs on her. Some people hated her for doing it, but it helped so many other women, okay? So I'm saying all that to say that your soul knows exactly what you need when you need it. And it ain't always gonna be in the time that we want it to happen, but it's gonna happen and it's gonna put you in a far better position when you step out of them green folders into those red folders. That's when you're going to finally notice shifts taking place in your life, okay? All right. So now let's talk about the one thing you need. The one thing we all need is to become best friends with our subconscious mind, okay? Now, what does that mean? That means doing that work. Doing the work that scares the hell out of you, doing the work that feels hard, doing the work that's like, oh, I got to do this. Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah, you do. If you want different, you got to do different. Okay. And becoming friends with your subconscious mind can look like many, many things, but I'm going to tell you some of the benefits of doing that. One is that your subconscious mind is designed and it loves to serve you. Did you know that? Did you know it was designed to serve you and it gets joy out of doing that? I call the subconscious mind also infinite intelligence. That's what I also call it. Because the infinite intelligence wants to serve you, wants to make sure you get everything you want. It does want to make sure you get everything you want. A lot of people feel like the subconscious is holding me back. Well, it's not holding you back. What it's doing is it's presenting you with all of the things that are blocking you from getting what you want. It's saying, look, change this, and we will happily serve. Because it wants to constantly create. It is infinite. It is infinite and it is intelligent. Okay. It's ancient. It knows a lot. Okay. But it needs very clear, direct orders. So you need to be really clear about what you want. It's a genie in a bottle. Okay. So that's it. That is my presentation on the universe is soul. That is my theory that the subconscious mind is in fact the soul and is in fact the universe. Because in order for us to get anything done, we got to convince the subconscious mind that it's done. And you gotta clear the muck out, okay? Now, how to clear the muck out? I go into great detail in that and how to do that, the tools that you can use to do that in the full body of the Be Magic Hypnosis method. And every Thursday, we're adding new material, and we're going to continue to add new material probably well into the middle of next year, okay? So when you decide to join us and become a part of the student body of the Be Magic Hypnosis method, it is more than you getting a certification. It's more than that. The reason why it's such a long course is because this is a course in self-mastery, okay? This isn't just about you learning a new tool so that you can go out here and make some more money. Yeah, you can make great money doing this. You really can, okay? It's all on you. Just like with any other business, it's all on you, how you decide to model it and do what you do, okay? But ultimately, this work is deep, deep transformational work, okay? Very deep transformational work. So the things that you're learning to do with your clients, it is advised that you do it for yourself, okay? Highly advised. I dropped 50 pounds. I quit smoking. I barely drink anymore. I had 2 drinks the other night and had a massive headache, okay? Whereas I used to drink 2 bottles of wine a night. I used to smoke a pack and a half of cigarettes, okay, in like 2-3 days. All right. But beyond that, the spiritual, mental, emotional, energetic transformation that has taken place is astounding. I have improved relationships, okay? I have let go of relationships that I never thought I would let go of because I didn't have the courage. I didn't know how, okay? But the more I healed, doing the deep, deep work, not just writing it down, I'm gonna journal it out, and now I'm healed. No, that's surface healing. True deep healing happens at the cellular level, at the soul level, okay? I'm not poo-pooing on those ways. All I'm saying is there's an energetic shift at a cellular soul level that must happen, okay? And this is the stuff that we're going to be dipping into when you guys decide to sign up for the full course, okay? So that is the end of this. So those of you who have questions and if you would like to continue the conversation, those of you who are on Zoom, stay put. You all who are on Facebook, thank you so much for joining in this evening. I appreciate your time and your attention. But we're going to now disconnect from Facebook and I'm going to stop sharing this. Okay, there we go. So we are going to disconnect from Facebook. And Facebook people, if you want to go back and watch this, you will need to sign up for the free preview of the Be Magic Hypnosis method, and it will be there, and I'm going to delete it off of the Facebook group page. All right, so y'all have a good night. All righty. Okay, I think we're off of there. Awesome. Okay, so some of you all had questions. Let's see. Okay, Kiosha said, does that equate to the ego? Which part were you talking about?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Oh, I didn't know. I was like, is it working? When you were speaking on the protection aspect of being, moving forward and it coming through, and you were like, oh, should I put that $35? Like, does that have 35,000 or whatever? Like, does that have to do with the ego a little bit? Because like the ego, it protects you. So I was just trying to make sure I was on
Yes,
the same.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what it is. And this is what I tell people, like, to know the difference between the ego and what we call like the higher mind, right? Or the highest part of us. The ego is always going to be questioning. Is always going to be like, well, wait a minute, what about this? And what about that? And what about this? And what about that? Right? It's going to kind of sound like, feel like a little confused, a lot of questions, a lot of like, hesitancy to do things. Whereas when we're operating in the higher realm, it's very exact. It's very like, do this, do that, go there, call them. Okay. So that's my personal take on it, right? It might be different for everybody else, but one way feels very calm and it feels like it just knows. And the other way feels like, I got a bunch of questions. I don't know what to do. I'm scared, So yeah, I would definitely say that would be the ego. Good question. Okay, anybody else?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Hi. Is that a butterfly crown on your head?
It is a butterfly crown.
Can I see it?
Yeah. See?
It's so pretty.
Thank you. Thanks.
You mentioned there were 5 aspects of the mind that you have mentioned throughout your presentation. I like, can you hear me well?
Yep.
Okay. I like that because it goes hand in hand with.
Uh-oh, I lost you. Oh, I think you hit mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. So where have I cut off?
Yep, I'm here. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So when you mentioned the 5 aspects of the soul, it goes hand in hand with many of my own downloads and insights. I really like that, and will also help me, to go deeper with my own as well. And then I also like you correlate in the soul and the mind. It really makes sense. I've heard the lyric, even though I don't like to mention that because of the person, but I've heard a lyric in a song Kanye West. It's kind of right after he went crazy. He said, hard-coded in the soul of man, in the souls of men. And now it makes really sense how that would be that, his persona is hard-coded, as he said, in people's subconscious because they saw him everywhere in the media and so on and so forth because of him being popular. That makes a lot of sense now. And then I really like you making the point of deep healing because it's the same thing that I've been speaking to people recently, my own self as well. So yeah, thanks. Great presentation. I enjoyed it very much.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I personally don't think Kanye is crazy. That's just my personal opinion, but
Facts.
so yeah.
Okay. Well, I liked him better before, so yeah, I think he sold out.
Yeah, I think he's seen more than any of us have seen as far as being in that industry. I used to work in that industry, so I get it. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. We don't need to go down a Kanye West rabbit hole in here tonight. But yeah, so that's, yeah. But yes, thank you for that. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Awesome. Okay, anybody else?
I was just going to say, I think it was extremely helpful. Just with the energy that, you know, Mars going in retrograde and things like that. Like, this class really pinpointed some areas to work on for myself, where, as you know, the ego has been stepping in, because lately, the past few years, it's been times that we haven't been through before. You know what I'm saying? Like, they quarantined us. They do it like, I ain't never been through nothing like this. So it's like been, you know, when you're trying to double dutch and you're trying to jump in, it's like, hold on, like, wait a minute. Like, so that's what it's been for me. So I really thank you, because it did assist me to put a lot into perspective. That's why I had to ask, like, wait, is this ego? Like, just to make sure I'm getting a complete understanding of what's happening, because it has been crazy out here.
Yes, indeed. It has. And I'm so happy that you were able to make it tonight, because and I'm happy to hear that it's been helpful. But I agree 100%, and I feel like you know, now is the time for all of us to, those of us who are in this realm, in this field of, you know, self-help and spirituality and healing. We are the ones that are going to probably feel more of the energy, you know what I mean? Like, it's because we are so sensitive and open, you know what I mean? Because you have, in order for you to be of help, and I know you are a reader, Kiosha, we have to have a level of openness, right? We got to stay open. But there's just so much out there that is, you know, the energy is questionable, the energy is heavy, you know? So because of that, and there's also a lot of shifts taking place too. And we have to be aware that while we're shifting and leveling up and helping others shift and level up, that there is the same way in the subconscious mind, where there's a part of us that doesn't want to change. There's a part of us that doesn't want to go to the unknown because we've been doing it this way for so long. That's also in the collective consciousness, right? So we got to think of consciousness as being not only in each individual, but it's also collectively, you know, there's a collective subconscious mind too. Okay. So that collective subconscious mind is like, but wait a minute. Why we got to go over here and change? We don't want to do that. Why we got to elevate? Why we got to expand? Why we got to awaken? Why we got to stop, you know, living our lives this way when it's been working this way, especially the so-called powers that be. Okay. They're used to running the show and having things go a certain way. So now that we're stepping into this new energy field where there is a shift in power, there is a power shift happening, there is a wealth reset taking place right now. There's some people who don't want to see that happen, right? There's a collective consciousness that doesn't want to see that happening. So we're going to feel the pushes and the pulls and the tugs and the, you know, the energetic war that's happening. So I think it's just important to really have a deeper understanding of exactly what the mind does, and to remind ourselves that we are all powerful. Like, that we've been given these minds, we've been given these bodies because we can withstand all of the stuff that's happening. We can heal ourselves. We can, you know, change the way we see the world and see ourselves, and we can have more, you know, but we for so long, we're operating in a space where we didn't know that, and so now I feel like it's important for us to just, grasp this information and get a deeper understanding of the self. So, anybody else have any questions?
Yes, I have. I have 2 questions, and thank you so much for the presentation. I am elated to be a part, because I had looked at your website for some time and referred from another group. I am an Akashic record reader. So it brought a lot of light to what you were saying, not only my own personal experience before I became one, but in me assisting as well. But what I wanted to ask is, when we're dealing with records as such, are we dealing with a cumulative of all minds at that time, or just the subconscious or superconscious? At what time does it, when that happens, is that subconscious mind or superconscious? Just
Well, I would say that when you're looking at Akashic records, I would say that you're looking at probably, and I could be wrong, so anybody who's, you have more experience in that area than I do, but from what I understand what the Akashic records are, I would say that you're taking a look at all of the experiences from that particular person's lifetimes. Plural.
okay, right, that I do know.
Yeah.
But
and that would be the subconscious. That would be the
Okay.
subconscious, because the subconscious houses all memories, all emotions, right? It remembers everything, even though consciously we may not remember it. So you do have to get readings, get an Akashic record reading done. You do have to do past life regression work. You have to, all of those things that you basically have to shift your state of consciousness to get into those higher realms, right? So that you can see beyond the human eye. But I would definitely say that you're dipping into the subconscious, because that's the part that holds the memories from all of our existence, right? Our entire existence.
Okay, so is that the same when we're also dreaming, and let's say that, okay, so that we wake up and we have that deja vu. I hear that a lot from my sons. So he has a deja vu. Is that the subconscious as well, or is that what is that? Because it feels like, it all meshes and crosses into one timeline. So then he was like, well, Mama, this is what happened. This is how I feel right then and there. So it feels like, okay, I dreamt this before. And I'm like, well, did you dream it or did you live it? That's my question.
I think that it for dreams, absolutely. Dreams come from the subconscious mind. Okay. I have a whole, we just did a class in the Be Magic hypnosis method specific. We have a whole dream section on what dreams are and how to read them and how to interpret and all of that. But I would definitely say that dreams are from the subconscious. Okay. For a specific reason. I'm not going to get into it here, but but absolutely. And as far as deja vu, I would say yes, that is the subconscious. I would just say that deja vu is crossing between realms, if that makes sense. Okay.
Like a quantum? Is that
could be like
a quantum?
Could be like a quantum. It could be like a quantum or even a parallel universal experience.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so because I do believe that there are we're having experiences on different levels, you know what I mean, in different universes. So we all sitting here, but maybe in the next universe I might have on blue star earrings, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Have on a sweater, you know what I mean? Or having a totally different conversation. Okay.
Right.
So I do believe that we are able to cross our minds, our subconscious mind has the ability to cross over into those other realms and pick up on the events that are taking place right there in the moment. And it's just like deja vu. And it's just like, that's the version of you is kind of crossing through the veil and like, here you go, boom, go back over there. So that's just kind of my idea of how that works. I'm right, but that's just what it feels like.
It made sense to me, so.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that question. That's great. Awesome. Okay, Keosha said her ears are ringing. She's about to get 1 million downloads. I love it. Awesome. Okay, anybody else have any questions? I love y'all's questions. This is fun. Any questions, any insights, any stories you want to share? Okay.
I don't have a story, but I was thankful for your live earlier. Because you know, it's just a lot going on in the world. And I had stated on Facebook, like the best thing about social media is we can share our opinions. The worst thing about social media is we can share our opinions. Like, so I'm trying to find that balance, and I just needed to really ground today, because of the readings and because of people's energy that I work with, you know, and lately the energy has been so chaotic that people are just messaging me, and I'm like, I don't have to respond. Like, there's no way that I can respond to all of you. If you want to reach me, then go through my website. Like, and people are just pulling and pulling and pulling. So I had to really sit back and stop, you know, calm my energy back to myself, and be like, okay, I'm taking the rest of the day off and I'm gonna just focus on me.
Good.
And it felt really good to do that. I stopped what I was doing. I went for a walk. And it was just really good. And I was like, when you came on live, it was right after I got back, and I was like, wow, I just did this. Like, I just did this. I try not to come off mean, but I'm like, it's just one me. I can't. And everybody's like, oh, help me. Like, just pulling and pulling. And I'm like, I can. Everybody. So it felt good to be able to focus on myself and breathe. I needed.
Good. And you know, the other thing that I would recommend too is not necessarily blocking people, right? But there is something to be said for, how can I put this? Because I do this too. I had to do it earlier on, and I've been doing it, but it's like you are, it's like a wall that you kind of put up around you as a healer and as a reader, where you just kind of turn off. You just turn it off, right? So you turn it, it's like you're turning off the receptor, the signals that you're sending out, because you are so open and you are an excellent reader and you pick up on people's energies really well. You're going to have to learn how to just turn the frequency off. It's like turning off the television, turning off the radio. You know what I mean? When you do that, when you turn it off, no, it's like nobody can, they can't. Okay, this is the perfect thing. Okay. You know how when like on a messenger, right? Like say for instance, on Facebook Messenger, you know how it will show when you're available and when you're not available, or do not disturb. It's kind of like that, right? So maybe even you could use that as a visualization. When you are ready to shut people out or shut those energies out, do not disturb. Turn the receptor off, do not disturb. And something happens where people automatically just go to your website and set the appointment, right? They just know, they just automatically know. I don't have a lot of folks in my inbox. I do not. I get consultation appointments because my energy directs them there. There's something about, it's like a bitch energy. I'm, just like a bitchy ass energy that's like, do not disturb her. This is how you can reach her. And it takes practice to keep turning it off, keep turning it off, and keep turning it off. And pretty soon you're gonna notice the switch. You're gonna just notice how it just shifts completely. So Mina's laughing. I'm serious. Like, it's like you do, like, it's because otherwise you're going to spend a lot of energy telling people, y'all, I can't help everybody, y'all please. So it's like you just have to build up these visual mental protectors pretty much, right? So I would say try that, turning off the television, like turning off the antenna, unplugging the antenna and putting that bitch mode up, like do not disturb, not available. People can feel it. The same way they can feel that you open, and I'm gonna hop in Kiosha's inbox because I need her help. I know she's available. I'm gonna need her help, right? They can feel it when you like, don't even try it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to come off like mean or nasty for them. They don't have to feel that energy. But what I'm saying is, you know what I mean.
Yes, I understand. I was like, oh, I just have to do something because I'm like, it's crazy for all of us. That's what I'm trying to explain. And just like, please do.
It went out a little bit. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can. It's going in and out a little bit. The reception, it seems like it's going in and out a little bit.
Oh, it's that. But no, it was more so of the fear. Like, Kesha, this is your business. This is how you feed your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to cut everybody out. But at the same time, I do need that process to charge myself up so that I can help other people. So it felt great to do that.
Good. Excellent. And you're gonna keep making money. Trust me. You can get to the point where and it's all mental. It has nothing to do with the level of work that we do and how much we promote and how much we post. It's all mental. If I know I'm going to hit my numbers this month and I feel that in my body, I'm going to, and I could take a week off and not talk to nobody and still, and what I've noticed is whenever I pull back from social media, I get so many calls and so many appointments. It's wild, right? So yeah, it's just a mental shift. That's all it is. It's a mental shift and a trust. Zakia said, how can we access the 5-hour program if we are just about to start the program and it ends before we're finished? What you mean? I'm confused. Oh, do you mean that you signed up for it and then your 30 days is almost up and you haven't had a chance to get in, do the classes? Is that what you mean? Zakia, are you there?
I'm here. And yes, that's what I mean.
Okay. Just let me know. And I will extend it for you. That's it. Just shoot me a reminder. Okay. And for anybody in here, if you signed up and you're like, oh shoot, I've been busy, child. I ain't had time to look at these classes. If you need more time, just shoot me a message. I'll extend it. Okay. All right.
Okay,
I have
I'm
one
sorry.
question.
Yes.
Oh, go on.
Where would we send the message to? You want us to send it to you in Facebook or here in the chat? Because I have the same almost, I've never logged in. I got the login information and I've never logged in and I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes. You can send me a Facebook message. And then I will give it to my assistant and she will go ahead and extend it for you. Okay.
Thank you much.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that's okay to ask you here or I should ask you in private, but I wanted to ask if the graphic with the mind, how the mind is composed from the preview, you know which one? With the
theory of
subconscious mind. Yes. I wanted to ask if we can actually use it, if you're okay with it, or would you rather not? If we can use it with our clients, for example.
Oh, with your clients, yeah, you can use it. But that's what it's there for when you have clients to use it.
Okay, for example.
So yeah, you can use that. That's fine. It's a part of the free thing. So absolutely, now what I will say is this. What I will say is be careful marketing yourself as a hypnotist. This is just for the laws, okay?
Yes.
You technically cannot do hypnosis or market yourself as a hypnotist until you have actually gone through a full training and received your certification, okay? That's just because sometimes people get real pressed and somebody might, say something or whatever, and you just don't want that kind of smoke. But you can absolutely use it to show your clients. Absolutely. I would say draw your own and do that. Okay. Just draw your own version of it and show them that way.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Shantae, you have your hand up. You can go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am absolutely splendid. And part of that is from the group hypnosis. I finally won one, and I know that it was only because that's the one that I need. And I have been, this week has definitely been a whirlwind week, but I haven't felt rushed or overwhelmed or anything like that. And my mom, she's on the call too, will tell you that when I get into that space of overwhelm, I'm gonna shut everything down. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna get in my hammock with a book, and I'm not gonna be bothered with none of it. But I have taken this time this week to set timers. I write everything down on my whiteboard that needs to get done. Like I just dump it on the board, and then I take the time to pull from that. What are the priorities? I write those down with timers, and then I get those things done, which I still make sure I include my hammock time because that's a priority, even in the winter. So I just wanted to, first of all, thank you for that. The second thing that I wanted to say, you had mentioned that the subconscious mind sometimes represses certain memories because of unresolved emotion. And I had spoken with my mom, I don't remember if it was this year or last year, about some memories that I had repressed from my childhood. And I had felt that those memories were causing issues with other things. And instead of trying to, and she made the statement that, you know what, this was longer than that, I think, because this was, I think was before I even found out about you. And she made the comment that my mind is just trying to protect me from those things, and it may cause me more harm than good to try and unlock those things before I'm ready. So over the years, I just kind of let those things sit where they were. And I just decided, and I don't really remember when it was, to start working with the feelings that I have surrounding that thing. And I still know that I have a lot more work to do in that area, but I'm feeling a lot more freedom. And one of the biggest issues that I had was that my memory was really bad. I would experience something and then it was gone. But through doing all the work that I've done with you, from the recordings to the Be Magic self-study to the free 5-hour preview to the every class that I take with you, I learn something new, and through the application of it, I'm able to free certain different aspects. Still have a lot of work to do, but I am just tremendously grateful for this work, and I'm just biding my time essentially until I can go ahead and click that button and get on off in there, because it is definitely definitely needed. I can see so many different avenues of continuing to use this work for myself, for my son, you know, my brothers, with my mom. Like, we're all going to be hypnotizing one another until there's a couple of millionaires in the family and we can just buy an island or something somewhere and chill out. But thank you very, very much for all that you.
You are very welcome. And thank you for sharing all of that. I appreciate that. And I'm happy to hear that the time management hypnosis was so effective for you. That's awesome. So good. Yeah, that's, I mean, and this is stuff that you can do too. You know what I mean? Like you can do all of this stuff. There's no difference between what I do and what anybody in here can do. It's just the only difference is the education and practicing. Practice. You got to practice, right, Margot? Margot is a full-time enrolled student in the program. She know I'm always like practice.
Yeah, don't remind me.
So practice is a big part of this. And the reason for that is because you want to adopt your own approach. You know, you want to form your own hypnotic voice, so that one day after you've been doing this for a while and you feel comfortable, you can do your own classes. You know what I mean? Like, that's the goal here. The goal is to create more opportunities for you know, people of all colors and all backgrounds and all races to get into this work, because it's very powerful. It's incredibly powerful work. There's so many things that you can do with it. Like, you don't just have to, you know, see clients and be a hypnotist. You know what I mean? You can take this anywhere. Most of you all are already doing some sort of spiritual or healing work in some kind of way. Kiosha, you're a reader. I don't do readings anymore. I've actually sent a few people your way. I wonder if they hit you up or not. But I used to do readings and then wrap up the reading with the hypnotic journey, so that whatever helpful, positive information or expansive information that came through the reading, you could put it in a hypnotic journey so it can really, you know, sink in for them. You know what I mean? So there's just so many different ways. I have a colleague that does Reiki and does hypnosis while she's doing the Reiki. You know what I mean? Like massage therapists are doing it, you know, so the possibilities are endless with this work. And even if you don't want to do it as a profession, just going through the program for your own self-mastery, I mean, is beautiful. It really is. Another client just said they got, you know, an additional 50 grand all of a sudden. She told me that last night. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Hey, Marshawn. Oh, good. I was hoping you would be in here. You're a doula and you want to see, oh, girl, yes. They have hypnobirthing. I have a lot of colleagues that do hypnobirthing. Okay. Very, very powerful for dealing with pregnant mothers. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can listen, y'all. It deals with the emotional mind, where all your programs, everything is housed. So hypnosis can really help with anything, honestly. Now, I wouldn't market myself like I could help you do anything, right? No, I target specific audiences, okay? So for you, oh, Shantae, I didn't know Marshawn was your mother. Hi, okay. Hey, mama. Awesome. But yes, it is very, very helpful for mothers preparing to give birth. You can help them with their breathing. You can help, there's even something that we do called hypnoanesthesia, okay? Where they don't need to get, they don't need to get any medicinal anesthetic done. You can help them do it hypnotically, okay? We have a whole pain management section in the program where we talk about how to use hypnosis as a way to help with pain management. We talk about hypnoanesthesia. So yes, absolutely. That's a whole market right there. That's a whole market. And I always get, I don't really do a lot of hypnobirthing stuff, right? That's not my realm. However, I get calls for it all the time. So if you do this, I'm gonna just send them to you. You know what I mean? Like,
All right. Look, I'm ready.
okay. So yeah. So if you want to, if that would be a really, it's a huge market for that. Let me put it like that. It's a huge market for hypnoanesthesia. I mean, hypnobirthing. You can take this work anywhere, y'all. I'm telling you, anywhere. You really can. You can go into corporations and do it. I work with a lot of corporations, okay? Agencies, the government, okay? So you can really take this work pretty much anywhere because you're dealing with behavior, human behavior science. That's the first thing we're doing is behavior, okay? Understanding human behavior. That's in every business, profession. You need to understand human behavior, right? Oh yeah, vets, absolutely, Kiosha. Big time for vets. There's, hypnosis for PTSD is huge. You could get into, some government contracting work doing that and make a lot of money. Okay. And I'm also getting ready to open that up to the students who come through the program and graduate. That's a whole nother arm of that, locking you into my network of agencies and corporations, okay, that are hiring us to come in and do that deep work, because more and more companies are hiring us. Now, they're not hiring you to do hypnosis. They're hiring you to come in. You're going to do hypnosis, but they don't know that. Okay, we're not saying, oh, I'm a hypnotist and I can help you. No, I'll show you how to market yourself, okay, to these industries, all right? How to speak the language. So you're not going into, talking to a bunch of vets but talking to them magically or metaphysically, right? You have to learn how to switch your language up and switch your presentations up. So I'll be teaching you guys that as well, okay? Because though I am, a magician and metaphysical, I work with a lot of corporations and they don't understand all of that stuff, but they understand science and logic and human behavior and things like that and psychology, right? They can understand that. So there's different terminologies and things like that we're learning that you'll be able to cross over with. So, yeah. Okay.
I'd just like to say this is refreshing to hear you speak the way that you do, because we, don't realize how important it is to be in our own personal sovereign power. So thank you so much for putting that in that perspective, because in my little mind, it's like you don't have to let your right hand know what your left doing when you out here. So thank you.
Absolutely. You're very welcome. 100%, right? So that's just because we need to be able to, in order for us to truly be effective as healers or as change agents, if you don't want to call yourself a healer, call yourself a change agent. See, that's how you flip the language up. I am a change agent, right? We got to be able to be chameleons and fit in, you know, suit and tied up. And also maybe wear some flip-flops and wear your crown, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know, put your head wraps on or whatever you want to do. But there will be times that you're called in to do things for groups that you're like, ooh, how do I talk to them? Right? How do I market myself to this audience? Because it's a lot of freaking money out there, y'all. Please understand. It's a lot of money out there. Yes, do this for the healing, but do it for the money too. It's okay to do things for money. It is okay to provide your service and be paid. Okay. It is okay to be a healer and make money. All you got to do is learn how to pivot so that you can fit into these different industries. Okay. And be the expert in the room. A lot of people don't know about this work. You'd be surprised. It's so new. Like it's very new. You know, it's not new in the sense that it hasn't, the technique hasn't been around for thousands of years, right? Of course, it's been around forever. But as far as hypnosis and hypnotherapy is now being recognized, finally being recognized in the white papers, which are the medical journals that doctors and physicians write. They're finally acknowledging this work as a viable treatment for cancer patients, okay? For pain management. I have a colleague that works with a dentist. She helps the client, the patients, calm down, use hypnoanesthesia so that they can go to the dentist. You can partner up with doctors. I got a lot of doctor friends and therapy friends, right? Okay. You have scientists. Y'all know, Margot, there's some stuff in our files that we have in the class where scientists are just now, like it's new, we're figuring this out. We're figuring this out about the subconscious mind. And I'm like, we've been on that. Okay. So this industry is going to blow up very, very soon. It is a very untapped industry right now. It's not a lot of registered hypnotists out here. There are people who are doing this kind of healing work and they don't know that they're doing hypnosis. You know what I mean? They don't know that that's what they're doing. And so I say that if you're already doing this kind of stuff in your work, it is a good idea to be trained, okay? So that you know, because I had a call with a young woman the other day who's interested in the school, and she said, I think I'm already doing this, but there's parts that I come to and I'm like, ooh, what do I do next? What do I do? Okay, so you need to know how to get over certain humps. You need to know how to switch it up, how to do it off the top of your head. And it's easy, y'all. It's easy. It is not hard work. It ain't hard. It may feel like it in the beginning when you learn it, but it's not. Once you get into it, oh, that was you. Hey, Queen Seer. Yes, that's you. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So it ain't hard. It's the easiest job on earth. Trust me. That's why I love doing it. And it's highly effective. Okay. You're going to get a lot of people, word of mouth clients. I get a ton of word of mouth clients, a ton. I have colleagues who do not have a Facebook page. They do not even have a website. Okay. They do no marketing and no promotion. They just, it's word of mouth. So you can do this however you want. You don't have to be public. You don't have to tell everybody that you do it. You know, You don't have to. Or you could go into teaching. You could do what I do, whatever. I don't care. I think we need more people out here talking about this stuff. Absolutely. I don't care. I will say this, if you want to open up a school, wait. Don't just graduate and be like, I'm gonna open my own school up. It took me 7 years to finally open up a school. And the reason, and I'm glad I waited, because there is a lot that goes into running a school. Teach classes, but running a school is a whole different beast, okay? So you definitely want to make sure that you have, I haven't had every kind of client, I haven't yet, right? But I have had a lot of different kinds of clients to where I can teach you, how to get through certain things. But I would say to opening up a school to teach hypnotherapy, give yourself time, all right? But that doesn't mean you can't open up a school to teach people how to be a doula. Doesn't mean you can't open up a school to teach people how to read tarot or do Akashic records, right? And use some of these techniques too, right? You can do that. But to open up a hypnotherapy school, it's some stuff you got to do, okay? So that would be my only thing. But as far as like teaching classes and stuff like that, absolutely, please, 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 when you feel comfortable, when you feel like okay, I'm ready, and you don't have to wait a whole year either. When I was in school, I started my YouTube channel, right? Because that was practice for me. I started posting on Facebook because that was practice for me. As I'm doing videos and making posts, I'm teaching myself, learning, and because as you teach, you learn, right? So I'm not saying wait until you graduate to start posting and making video. No, do your videos. Do that. People need us. The world needs us. That's real. So do it. Get out there and do it. All right. Anybody have any more questions or anything before we sign off? I think I've held y'all long enough. Nope. Good. All right. Well, I thank you all so much for coming this evening. Okay. Demisha has a good question. She says, what are the pay or grant options, if any, to attend your school? Okay, so the full price of the course is $5,000. Okay, there are 3 payment options. You can put $275 down, and then you pay $393 a month. Okay, you can put $500 down. All right. You could put $500 down, and that will, no, you can pay full price. I'm sorry. You can pay full price and save $500. So you would only pay $4,500 if you were to pay upfront. The third option is to go through my partner lender, so that you could get a lower monthly rate. However, you'd be paying for a longer period of time, okay? So when you are ready, or even if you just want to kind of look at it, everything, go back to the sales page where you signed up for the 5 hours free and scroll down. I've done several videos on how all of those payment options work. I currently don't have any grant options right now, but I am hoping to change that soon, okay? All right. So anybody else have any questions? She said you hear that number everywhere, 5,000. Yeah, it's a good price. I mean, I paid 20,000 for my education, so I think this is pretty good considering. All right. Now it will also go up. I started the program in June, so the price is going to go up June of next year. June of 2023. Okay. It's going to go up because for a few reasons. One, because it's worth it. And it takes a lot of time to put this thing together. Please believe me, okay? So 2 is because I'm going to start tapping some of the graduates to teach these classes. So I have to pay them, okay? Also, there's going to be a second part of the class for those who finish successfully and graduate from the academic portion of the school. There's also going to be a business incubator where I'll be training you on the stuff that we talked about, how to go out here and do corporate trainings and get into, you know, these certain areas that I'm working my black behind off right now to get into and to lock in a lot of these things, because I would like to hire you guys who have finished the program, the full program. I would like to hire you to go out and do these jobs, okay? Where you can make anywhere between an additional 50 to 80K a year. That's my goal, okay? So when you go through the business incubator, that sets you up, and that's not a whole year. That's going to be like a 6-month program, okay? That's going to set you up to get ready to go out here and make your money in other ways other than just seeing clients, okay? Okay. So that is the reason why the price will be going up, all right? But the business incubator, for those of you who have signed up now, if you sign up before June 2023, you will be grandfathered into the business incubator at a discounted price, okay? So you won't pay the full rate of the business incubator. You'll come in as a discounted price as long as you sign up for the full program if you sign up for the hypnosis program before June 2023. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, because you know what? It took me a while to build my business. And I wish that there was a business incubator available for hypnotists, you know. So I am very passionate about people making money and having financial security and not having to work a 9-to-5 and then do this part-time. I'm very passionate about that. Thankfully, I was in a position where I could do this full-time without having to work another job. I was put in a very good position that way. I had support, but there are people, I have colleagues who are excellent, we were in school together and they were amazing therapists, but they couldn't do it full time. They had to work, right? So I'm a huge advocate of making sure that if you graduate from my school, that you and you go through the business incubator, that you're going to have work. You're gonna have some work to do, okay? Thank you, Margot. I'm happy to hear that. Yes, Rafal, that's true. Yeah, because I haven't seen any. I mean, I know there's a lot of courses and stuff that be like, oh, we'll do job training and job placement, but I've never really experienced that. So I found a way to do that. You know, I found a way to create that for, you know, people who are interested in doing it. Okay.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
I have one more question. I did get a chance to look at the website where you have your library and it's $33 a month, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Can we still be a part of that?
Yeah.
Or okay, so like, is that part of the curriculum or no?
Not at all.
Okay.
That's just a culmination of all of the micro teachings that I have done over the years. That is all over the internet. That's just a place you can go. You can go to one place and get everything.
Okay.
But this course is different. This is not, yeah, this is not anywhere else because it's specialized and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I could just hang out over there. I could just hang out. So
Yeah, you
thank
could
you.
absolutely hang out over there. Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, that's a culmination of, you know, just all of the videos and teachings and stuff that I've done over the years. And, you know, articles and stuff like that I've written over the years that you can go and get it. So you don't have to be like trying to scour YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and all these places. It's all in one place. So yeah, but yeah, this is specialized training. We go deep, deep, deep in these classes. So yeah, we're doing clinical hypnotherapy as well as a lot of magical work as well. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. Anybody else have any questions? We're gonna wrap it up now. Okay, cool. So anybody that's interested in signing up, like I said, go back to the sales page that you signed up for the 5 hours free. That's where you're gonna sign up at. Don't go to the main Be Magic school page to sign up and make your payment, okay? Because it's going to charge you $416.67 for you to sign up. But you get to sign up for $275. That's why you need to go back to the sales page, okay? All righty then. Unless you want to do that, you can. You can absolutely sign up that way, okay? But if you want to, you know, have a lower payment, you can do it that way. You're still paying the same amount. It's just that you lower it a little bit, okay? Thank you. I am home. I am at home already. All I got to do is just turn this off and go eat some dinner and watch TV. Actually, I can't do that. I actually have to read a 185-page thing tonight, but that's okay. Y'all have a great evening. Let me know if you have any questions. Those of you who need to extend, send me a quick little message so I can let Jody know and she can go in and do the extension for you, okay? Send me a message in Facebook because once we turn this off, I'm not gonna see it, okay? All right, y'all, have a good night. Bye.
Shara, you have a good night as well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night and thank you.
Good night, you're welcome. Bye, y'all.